Hello students, I'm glad to meet you through this Moodle classroom again with a continuation of the topic interpretation of charts. In this lecture, I discuss with you about how to interpret the tabular forms. Everyone knows visual or data interpretation helps us to understand data quickly. Data interpretation is the process of making sense out of a collection of data that has been processed. This collection may be present in various forms like bar graphs, line charts, and tabular forms. Charts, graphs, and tables will sometimes have a legend, which is like a code book to explain the information. In this lecture, I am going to discuss with you about what is table, enumerate the characteristics of a good table, explain the importance of tables, how to interpret the given table into paragraphs, steps to be followed, model answer, tips for writing, and the conclusion. What are tables? Tables are frequently used to visually communicate the data. A table, which comes from the Latin word tabula, meaning flat, tablet, or list, is normally a structured set of numbers in columns and rows that give an orderly way to look at the numbers. The goal in creating tables, charts, or graphs is to present data in a clear and accurate format which is easily interpreted by everyone. What are the characteristics of good tables? One of the simplest methods used to analyze the data and to display the data is in tabular form. Tables should have a title. In the tabular form, you get a systematic arrangement of rows and columns. The subheading of the columns and rows must be stated clearly. The source of information should be stated and easy to understand. Organize your tables neatly so that the meaning of the table is obvious at first glance. In this slide, we are going to discuss about the importance of good tables. It is very accurate as well as an easy method to display the data. Although this is a simple method, it is time consuming. It makes comparison easier to understand. It highlights the important information. It is easy and fast in decision making. Tables are widely used in communication, research, and data analysis. Tables appear in print media, handwritten notes, computer software, architectural, ornamentation, traffic signs, and many other places. In the next slide, we are going to discuss about how to structure the paragraph. As I have already shared with you people about the structuring of paragraph, again I am going to tell you the same thing. Like whenever you go for structuring your paragraph, what are the three important things that need to be given care? The first thing is the introductory statement. This is the first part of your paragraph, right? The first part is an introduction. Paraphrase the provided information in one sentence. Let the opening sentence be stated like given below. The given table shows. The table represents. This diagram illustrates. The second paragraph is the body paragraph, and this is the second part of describing the data. Whenever you proceed with your body paragraph, Highlight the highest and the lowest data. Highlight the key changes or the trends that happens with the paragraph. Use suitable connectors and discourse markers. You can also make use of the linking devices like while, whereas, compared to, in comparison with, as opposed to, in contrast, on contrary, however, which help to show the coherence and cohesion in the paragraph clearly. Finally, the last paragraph is the summary sentence, an overall sentence that ties everything together and talks about any other significant information that can be stated apart from other given information. In this slide, I am going to discuss with you about the example of how to interpret a table. Now look at this table. In this table, United Kingdom's total population is given for the year starting from 2015 to 2017. So now let us look at this table and find out how to interpret this table into a good paragraph. Now look at the model answer for that particular question. As usual, you are going to start your first introductory paragraph like this. This table compares the UK's 55-year projected growth of number of people over the age of 75 with that of the total population. Now this is the paragraph first. Here we have used the expression this table compares. Now we are moving on to the second paragraph. It is estimated that in the 20 years from 2015, the total population of the UK will grow by almost 10 million from 64.8 million in 2015 to 73.2 million in 2035. The number of overall 75 will also increase significantly from 5.4 million 2015 to 8.9 million 2035, which is an increase of nearly 4%. The estimated figures for 2050 and 2017 indicate that this trend will continue and the total population will be as high as 82 million by 2070. Although the number of people aged 75 or older will remain relatively stable between 2035 and 2050. The number will continue to swell and by 2070 nearly 15% of the population will be aged 75 or older. And finally, the concluding paragraph is, overall, we can expect the number of people aged over 75 to double by 2070. This is what we need to do while writing answer from the visual representation into a paragraph. I like to share with you one more example for interpreting a table. The table given below shows the average band scores of Indian students from different language groups. What you need to do is summarize the information, selecting and reporting the main features and compare as applicable. Now, here is the model answer for the visual representation what I have given you in the previous slide. As usual, we are dividing our paragraph into three things. One is the opening paragraph, that is the introductory paragraph. The second one is the body paragraph. And the last one is the concluding paragraph. So now look at the first paragraph. The given table illustrates the IELTS academic test scores of Indian students of different language groups. Apart from the three major languages, there are so many other languages in India which is concluded in the other groups. Hindi is the major spoken language of India, and visibly the Hindi spoken students has eminently accomplished the top of the table, while the others group has bottomed the comparative chart. The Hindi and the Malayalam groups perceptibly have shown their strength in the writing test scoring 8.9 and 8.6 respectively. On the contrary, the Tamil and the other groups have exposed their weaknesses in the listening, speaking and reading test. Noticeably, all the three major language groups have shown their strength in the writing test. After scrutinizing the table minutely, we can conclude that on an average, the Indian students are best at writing. While it comes to speaking, none of the four language groups managed to secure a band score of 8. The observation distinctly indicates that on an average, the Indian students are less skilled in speaking and listening. The important key points to remember while interpreting a table into a paragraph. First thing, summarize the table. This is a very important skill and is arguably the focus of the entire task. Look at the figures in the table and the tense of the data. Identify whether it is in the present, past or predict the future tense. The second thing is the dividing the data. Split the data into significant groups. This helps you to describe the data and the information what you can see from the table. And the third point is make your point clearly. Whenever you structure your paragraph, that particular structuring determines your efficiency in writing. So make your points clearly. And the next thing is compare and contrast. While structuring your paragraph, you can compare the data with the help of useful linkers like compared to, opposed to, in terms of, while. Try to avoid being repetitive with your sentence structure. You can also take some tips for writing. Your range of vocabulary should be wisely used. The accuracy of reporting or presenting the most important information in the given figure. Here are some tips for writing. While interpreting the table into a very good paragraph, think about the range of vocabulary what you should be using. You need to be very accurate in reporting or presenting the most important information about the given figure. The next thing is you need to organize the paragraph with a logical flow. And finally, your overall fluency and clarity will also help you to give your presentation perfectly. I like to conclude that describing a table or a chart is not a very tough task. You just need to follow the above discussed steps so that you can also excel in writing. Thank you, students.